Did he post that in the chat?
Nope.
No? Just gonna leave me hanging?
Steam broadcasting, FPS, reduced CPU. Ooh.
CPU.
Oh, I'm just looking at the patch notes for the new Steam update. I still can't believe how bad of a client Steam is.
It's
like,
not
compared...
that bad.
Oh god, compared to stuff like Origin.
Okay.
Like, Origin has a terrible game library, but other than that, it's awesome.
Bastard!
It's better than Steam in pretty much every single conceivable way. Like, I still can't believe that the Steam store in the client is literally just opening up an old version of Chromium inside a skin.
What?
Okay then. What is Chromium?
It's the Google Chrome open source version.
Oh.
It's the one without all of the annoying tracking software.
Oh. For some reason, like the stream quality is shit right now. At least from what I understand.
I don't have it open, so...
So what level are you at in Xenoblade?
68?
68?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what you want?
Yep. It's the minimum.
Aw, poor Kodomaru.
And I'm not, like, watching your stream is always weird because of the 40-second delay. So going back and looking at the commentary is just weird.
Oh, senpai!
But... Hey. Don't talk back to me, Will. I will beat you like a red-headed stepchild.
Oh. I guess those are just the rules.
How long have you been grinding?
Like an hour.
Why? And you're already at 68?
Yeah.
Then, like... You should beat the game by the end of the day.
Well, I should, but I'm in the middle of this stream, so...
I thought you were gonna grind while listening.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Huh?
Okay.
The point is, Brian,
Baby
that I was expecting to be grinding during this entire stream and still have to grind some more. But I vastly overestimated the amount of time it would take. So now I'm just grinding anyways because I've set aside the time slot.
I'd recommend getting to level 76 for the final boss.
Okay.
I guess I
I'll
just
just get... So how long can we expect the stream to go for?
maybe 2 or 3
We
hours
ended
if
up
all
enjoying
goes well.
ourselves, but I believe it's
Okay,
about
that's
time
cool.
we headed to the next labyrinth.
So where to next?
About that, I checked with Fuka-chan earlier, but it seems to be the homeroom for second-year class 2.
I have a feeling that at this rate Sugar Conroy will, like, beat the game before I do.
There's not a group date cafe there?
What is that?
Oh,
Well, chances are he already has beaten it.
It was our
Well, I mean,
classes
of course he's like,
You have a...
For
beaten
real?
it. He's
Dang,
played
I
the
wish
game
I
like
was a
4
student at your
times,
school.
100%. But,
Is that any fun?
I don't want to think about it.
What's this group date thing?
Oh god, I remember the group
A
date.
group date is the crossroads of destiny. Countless
The anime
hunters of
version was
love
so
gather
goddamn
in
beautiful,
search of the
man.
one in this vast world tied to them by a red
you should
string.
really listen to the 8-4 Play podcast. You would love it.
Who the f is 8-4?
8-4 is the company that... They're a translation company. They translated...
Oh
like,
yeah, they did Fire Emblem Awakening, right?
It's scarier the way
And,
she says it.
Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I think also 4 Ultimate.
No, Capcom did 4 Ultimate.
Oh, well then... Oh, that's a shame.
Ray-chan
3
alone?
Ultimates translation was great because like the
understand the
entire
feeling.
thing was just filled with bad
Won't leave
puns
you alone either, Ai-chan.
for
May
like
I
quest
score
names and
with
stuff.
you?
I refuse.
Like stuff that doesn't translate over directly, so they just rewrote huge portions of the script and it was surprisingly
From
natural.
what you say, it sounds like this group date is a rather refined event.
You know, people get really pissy when they do that.
Not in the
Why?
least.
I don't know, but hard weed people will get
Is a
pissy
red
when they do
string
that.
really tied to the person you're
Even though it
destined to
makes
be
the
with?
experience better, they get pissed.
I don't know.
It's like if
But I think we
Animal
all
Crossing was
believe
directly
it is.
translated, it would be the worst written game ever
I'm
made.
sure it exists. Right,
Because it would
Phil?
make no sense, because like 90% of the Japanese
going to be
dialogue is
streaming?
reliant on living in Japan and knowing their culture.
That's not what I meant.
Basically. That's why it takes so long to localize it.
What is
Don't they
that?
have a horse in the game named Elmer?
Outside the window, near the center of the schoolyard. It appears-
I'll
yes.
check.
It seems to be a clock tower.
Elmer
The bell that
Animal
rang
Crossing.
earlier is part of it. Would you like to take a look at it?
Not Eltner. Yeah, Elmer is a horse villager in Animal Crossing.
A clock tower in the midst of the
It's
schoolyard.
beautiful, isn't it?
That's kind of terrible.
It's almost midnight, so I guess the clock's not too off.
Oh no. The stream quality dipped hard for a moment.
I like how the first
I don't think
quote
it's been that
it has is "My head is still
The sun
leaking,
wasn't
but
even
that
setting
medicine
when we
will make
came
me
here,
feel
was
better
it?
soon."
Yeah, wasn't it like 3 o'clock?
Huh?
So like,
It's not the dark hour
I
right now?
petitioned or
But
I
there's
sent a
shadows here.
question to Nintendo support about the
Dark
Monster
hour.
Hunter
That came up earlier
transfer
too.
thing.
Something
The
about us
logistics
not
of
knowing
transferring
about
after
the
I'd
dark
already traded in my 3DS.
We've had brief introductions.
So I
But
waited
allow us
5
to tell
days
you our
for a
story in full.
response. I had to
The
go
dark
through
hour
like
is
2
a
different
hidden
emails
time that
asking
follows
if I was
myths.
sure I needed a
Those without the
response.
potential cannot
And then the
decide.
response was basically, "Thanks for contacting us,
During
we
the dark
can't help
hour,
you.
Shadows appear
Here's our
within
customer
town that we
assist
call
department
targets.
phone number."
That sounds like Nintendo.
And every month on full moon,
Nobody
on
uses
special
phones
large
anymore,
shadows,
Jesus Christ.
we fight and defeat these
I
in the
called
hopes of
them
eliminating
way
the
back
dark.
when Ocarina of Time 3D was released.
Man, you guys'
Because
thing
of the
sounds pretty different
CD
from ours.
promotion.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was trying to
Then
get that
what
game.
are you all...
I stayed up all night waiting for 8 a.m.
We're
so I could
pursuing
call
a
them.
killer.
And I called them. I was there for like 2
A
hours.
killer?
By the way, they have a very nice...
There's been a serial murder
waiting
case going on in the
thing.
town of
It's
Inaba where
Mario.
we live.
Well, it's like a bunch of different. When I called them,
The killer works by putting their victims into the
they
TV.
had the
Inside the TVs, there's a world
theme
filled with
from
shadows.
the water temple in Ocarina
That's
of
actually
Time.
where Teddy is from.
Oh, they did that for you?
It's just a bunch of different random songs.
I used to live in the TV world, but then Yost gave me other
I
things.
called them
I
when they had the
decided to
giant
come out.
AR card thing on
You
Club
lived in a
Nintendo,
world where shadows roam.
and I never
Hello,
got
Teddy?
sent, so they sent me 2.
Then will we be able to
I
go
don't
out into the
understand why
outside
they
world
thought I
with
needed
everyone?
2, but okay.
Like he did?
It's probably the first one that never came.
I'm sure you will.
No,
I
like
didn't
they
even think about
sent
Oh,
going
me
they
out
were
two,
to
that's
bundled
what they
Yost
together?
when everyone came.
Yeah.
It was probably an
But when I
oversight.
did leave, it was so
Maybe.
much fun that I wished I had done it much sooner.
Me too. Until everyone came here, I never even thought about going back.
It's true.
Hey, Zen boy. Don't tell me you
Mechonis
don't
is
like
so
being treated
boring
the same
compared
as
to
me.
Bionis.
It's a real honor, you know.
I know those feels. It's
Get
because
it,
there
Teddy.
aren't really
We're
any
just getting the
villagers
important
or
part.
towns to visit.
So
Like,
anyway,
Yeah,
just
it's like I
kinda
got to
you're in the TV world on
Agniratha,
a foggy
and
day, your own shadow will
it's
attack
just
and kill you.
enemies. I know I
Normally,
expected
only
there to be
Persona
less
users
people,
can go
but
in and
there's
out of
just
the TV.
nothing.
But they can put
It's
other
only
people
like
in
the
there as
people
well.
on the very bottom, right?
Yeah, there's the people
So,
on the fallen
culprit
hand.
is using their persona
and that's
ability
it.
for murder.
Yeah, right? Well, have you... What's her name?
There's much we
The-
don't know yet.
Is her
We
name
know
like
for a
Manus
certainty
or
that we will
something?
capture the culprit.
Vinaya,
I guess.
she's the
Our
guy.
reasons for fighting
Yeah.
are completely different from yours.
Apparently they're like implying that there are a bunch of people
Anyway,
still,
This is not
in
the TV
Agniratha,
world, and it's most likely
but
not
they're
this
all
Tartarus
just
you
like
speak of
cowering
either.
in their houses.
which means that we know almost
Also
nothing
known
about
as
it.
we're too lazy to put in people
I believe
and
we should
figure out
put
how
AKA,
to...
aside
we
all
had
that we
time
think we know
constraints to
and
deal
learn the
with
rules
it.
of this.
Indeed.
I wonder, like, how
Looks like we'll just have to go on
generous
to 2-2,
Nintendo
our
was
homeroom.
with the original
that'll
time
probably be a
constraints in
labyrinth, too.
comparison to
And taking
Chronicles
breaks is
X's.
important too. Remember what Yo...
From the
You're doing
sounds
that
of
on
things,
purpose,
they're being
aren't
pretty
you?
generous with Chronicles X.
We
Because,
have
like, I
fun
went
when
back
we
and
have
watched
fun,
the
and we work
E3
hard when we're
2009
working.
trailer
That's
for
the most
Monado, Beginning of the
efficient way to
World,
do things.
and I was surprised by how
Whoa,
little had
he has more
changed.
common sense than I thought.
So, Yuka-chan,
Like,
let's go
even
on a
down to the
date.
beginning animations.
Huh?
Uh,
Kinda jumping to
shouldn't that quest be
conclusions,
over
aren't
now?
we? When it comes to this beast, it's better to just ignore him.
It's
Oh,
been so many years since they announced Xenoblade, and I'm just, well, X, and I'm like waiting so hardcore. It's been like, what, almost
My
3
hunch was
years?
right after all. What?
Let's
I
get
don't
on.
know.
We've got 3 big ones left, right?
Hey, at least it's not as long as the wait for friggin' Final Fantasy 15.
That should be the case. It
I've
is
been
also
waiting
possible
almost
that
a
I will
decade.
regain my...
Then maybe we'll find out some more about this place.
Think about it. The amount of, there's
All
going
right,
to be a large
get
amount of
going,
people
leader.
playing Final Fantasy 15 who
Oh.
weren't even born when it was
There's
announced.
something important we need to decide on. Since we're a combined unit now,
Maybe.
we should decide who our leader will be.
Oh, is this by chance?
Junpei can't be the fucking leader.
Because I know I was like
Candidates
playing
would be
Final
either
Fantasy
our leader
X when
or
I
yours.
was 9.
Yeah, thought not.
Yeah,
What do
but
you
what
think?
kid is actually going to look at what kid is going to look at Final Fantasy
Okay.
15 and be like,
I'm
that's my
glad we got
shit?
that settled quick.
A lot
I was
of
thinking it would be
kids.
better if it was you anyway.
It has fast cars.
I mean,
attractive
you guys met
anime
Sam and
girls.
Rei-chan first. You got to the bottom of that
Um,
labyrinth first too. Nothing meaningless
combat.
happens, right?
Nice
Maybe there's
graphics.
a reason you have more
It's on the
experience with
Xbox
this place
One.
than us.
Lots
Make
of
it
kids
sound
are
like
going to be
you put
playing
thought
that one.
into it. But I bet you just think
Screaming
it'd be too
at
much
no
trouble.
one over their headsets. Or the enemies.
Is the game
At
going
least
to have
pretend to
co-op?
deny
It
it.
looks like the kind of game that would have co-op.
But he
It
does
looks
have
like
a
it
point.
should have co-op, but I don't think it's been confirmed.
I ask that you act as the leader of our combined forces.
Kind of like
Just
Xenoblade
continue
Chronicles
to do
X,
what you've been doing. We're counting on
where
you.
it's like, yeah, we have
Also,
online
you'll be
features.
supporting our new leader.
They also
know.
said that
We'll
with
consider
Nintendo
you our
Land, and that
vice
was just Miiverse.
Vice leader.
Nintendo
Vice
Land.
leader?
Forget. Nintendo Land was a fantastic game.
Sure, I'll do what I can.
I don't
You're
know
the
how I
leader.
feel reassuring
I'll
the
probably be
Persona 3
relying on you
protagonist.
Shied Brian.
Yes. I don't know how I feel as Brian Scheid reassuring Scheid Brian.
So I'll
It's
refer
so
to you
weird
as
because
Vice Leader
when I played
providing
Persona
support,
3 and 4,
so you
I
don't get
pretty much
confused.
identified as these characters because
Vice Leader.
the way
Vice
the
Leader.
game is made,
I
it's
hope I
so
don't mess it
easy
up.
to replace them with yourself mentally. And
Fukuchan
now
and
it's
I will
just
support you
weird
from
because
the
I'm
Velvet
like,
Room.
there are two me's talking to each other.
Good luck to you. Let's go.
Only
Fukuchan.
one of them has made good decisions.
Yes. Hey, I'm younger than you. You don't have to be so formal with me. Yes. I mean, okay. Zen.
How would you feel, Will,
scared?
if you looked across the room and there were two yous talking to each other?
I'll be okay. I
Uh,
can do this. I'm.
well, I
I'm
would
gonna
probably
go back
ask
with
them
everyone.
how their life is going, because obviously it must be slightly different, at least. So I'd probably ask them
Group date
what they did
home!
to improve their social lives,
Is she really gonna be okay?
stuff like that.
Will, what if you were the best of the three? What if
I
you had the
would-
best social life?
I would
Sister,
recommend that they,
Why is it that those people have come together?
I would feel really bad for
True
them,
that
I'll
this
just put it
place
at
is
that.
not reality per se, but for them to come from different space.
True.
What if they didn't know
Time
me?
always flows in one direction. Yet,
I would congratulate them.
Oh,
this distortion
Will,
could eventually
you
become a
ruined
rep,
me.
which may eventually affect the real world as well.
It's okay, Shied Brian.
Affect the real world.
Hey, I'm Brian Scheid. You want to talk to Scheid Brian? You
It's
gotta
only a
go back
possibility.
like 2 years.
but you admit
Oh my
it is
God.
possible.
Okay, so
Why is this a
grinding
culture
in this game is
festival?
boring. It's not as boring
If
as it
making this place a
is in
school
Bravely
wasn't
Default.
specific enough,
But
then
it's not fun.
This culture
Oh
festival
god,
is a
Bravely
kind of
Default
ceremony,
grinding.
correct?
I
Like,
know
it's
the
not
pain.
that. It's not that bad because at least in Bravely Default you
Ceremony.
can make everybody
There is
super
one more
easy
thing on my mind. The fact that the
and
power
just
of the
set the
wild
encounter
card
rate
has
up
changed.
really high and just do
yes,
that.
my guest who
Isn't
once could
there
adopt
something
any
in that
persona
game where you can like
is apparently
set
still
up
building
what
Izanagi now.
attack chain you do every
Granted,
single
he
time
can
and
now
then you can just
summon
put
a
it on
second
auto?
persona to compensate for this. But still,
I
This
did
seems
really like
different
that
from the
about
usual principle
Bravely,
behind
the
the power of the wild
enemy
card.
encounter rate that you could change.
It's as if
It was
that
a really
neutralized
streamlined
power
RPG,
had its
I just
abilities
couldn't get into
forcefully
it.
Distorted. Could
It's
be
just-
related to
It
this
doesn't
world
really
after
have that
all?
much of an entertaining plot.
neutralized.
It doesn't have that much of an
Yes.
entertaining anything. I'm
This
just not
world is
like.
connected
I guess
to the
I'm just
collective
not a big fan of
unconsciousness.
turn-based games.
It is a world
I will give
constantly
it that.
in flux,
Even with the
the power
Brave
to
and
change
Default
its shape.
system, it was still utterly lacking.
Yet the power of the wild card, representing
It
infinite
was-
possibility,
Yes, it
has been
was a
neutralized.
change, and yes, it played like
in other
your
words, could
classic
it mean
Final
that this
Fantasy,
world
but
is finite?
what else
That
do you
it
really
does
want?
not change?
A lot.
Finite?
A lot?
Sister, what do you mean?
I don't know yet.
Well, first I want it to be exciting.
In any case,
I can't
We
wait
must
for
not forget our
Bravely
rules.
3rd, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
we may assist in
I
our
don't know
guest's
if
With a
Journey.
contract,
but
with
we
a.
cannot intervene. All we can do is watch and see what kind of fate they take hold
I
of.
messed up.
Yes.
I messed
though
up
of
my
course
words
we
and now
will
I
let this
forgot
go
what
as
they
much as
mean.
possible. That reminds me, sister. Was there not something you wished to speak to me
Oh,
about?
God.
As I recall, you mentioned something about
One
me
day
in the
I will
past.
remember what that word is that I was trying to think of.
Yes, about that.
Not a
My own
contract, a
guest is from the year
soundtrack. There we go.
2011 of the Gregorian calendar. At
The
that point in time,
soundtrack
you
composed
are.
solely by Jamie Christopherson.
Let's not. We are but bystanders to fate. I
You
said
know what I
myself
really
just now
love
that we cannot
about the
intervene.
fact that Dante was in Shin Megami Tensei 3?
Very well.
That
I choose to
Dante was in
completely
Shin
forget about
Megami
this
Tensei
discussion.
3.
Know that
That will do.
as a
Now
trade-off for
then,
having him in the game,
Everyone return to your
they had
posts.
Atlus's demon designer create the devil trigger forms for
Why always
Dante
talk
and
about his
Virgil.
Boring stuff.
Okay, I don't
Which
even
is-
know what this means.
Which, you know how they have
Theo,
devil trigger
go
where
buy
they
me
turn
some
into these
shaved ice.
demon-like
The green
things?
stuff.
No, I do not know that. I've never played them.
Oh.
Very well.
Well, if you ever play Devil May Cry 3, their devil trigger forms were designed by Atlus.